Welcome back to season 2 of Kwani, the podcast. Today's episode is called Men Becoming New. In this one, this is for anyone who's ever felt themselves changing quietly. Most men don't announce their evolution. We don't post it. We don't gather around our friends for a rebrand reveal. We don't say, hey y'all, starting next Monday, I will be emotionally available. No. Men, we change like shadows, silently, gradually, between the lines. And people usually notice after it happens. Men grow private because many of us were never taught how to grow in public. We learned how to be strong, not expressive, to hold it together, not open up, to take it, not process it. So when men evolve, it's usually in small ways. Switching up habits, being softer in one area, being firm in another, letting go of people who drain us, reaching for our routines that ground us. There's always a moment. You feel yourself standing in between versions of the man you were and the man you're becoming. That space is uncomfortable, but it's also sacred. And it's the bridge between survival and intention. A lot of men resist change because the world constantly comments on it. If I'm being honest, if a man grows too fast, people ask, well, what happened? If he grows too slow, people say he's falling behind. If he takes care of himself, then they call him extra. If he doesn't, he's letting himself go. You see what I'm saying? It's like men are always being graded, but never guided. And then there's the fear of being misunderstood. Men learn early that vulnerability gets judged, at least in my experience. So reinvention, even when it's healthy, can feel dangerous. Not dangerous physically, but dangerous to identity, dangerous to relationships, dangerous to the version of you that people are used to. Growth exposes you. And a lot of men don't know how to handle being seen in new ways. Again, in my experience, I found it very uncomfortable turning 30 and transitioning from a young boy to a man who makes his own decisions. Becoming new doesn't have to be dramatic. It's not a 30-day transformation. It's not a comeback or a return. Most reinvention is slow. It's quiet. It's intentional. I would say it looks like this: waking up early, and not because you're enlightened, but because you're tired of feeling behind. Investing in your hygiene, grooming, skin, or clothes. Not because you're vain or you have superficial preferences, but because you want to feel good in your body. Upgrading your teeth. The teeth are the window to the soul, your health or your style, not to be impressive, but to be aligned. Making doctor's appointments on time, doing your nails or taking care of your hands, building better routines, starting projects with your inner circle, choosing people who inspire you over people who exhaust you. Avoiding temptation that pulls you backwards is another example. And putting your focus into purpose, not distractions. And most importantly, letting go of the survival version of yourself. That's the hardest part, because the survival version kept you alive, but he cannot lead your future. The new version is intentional, is well crafted. He thinks before acting. He chooses peace. He wants clarity, not chaos. He's a lot more regulated. He loves differently. He shows up differently. Becoming new isn't about impressing anyone. It's about becoming someone you respect, someone you admire, someone you look up to. There's a moment, you'll know when it happens, where you say, I want better for myself. Not louder, not flashier, not richer, just better. That moment is the beginning of reinvention. But here's the truth nobody said to me. When men outgrow themselves, they often outgrow their surroundings too. The friend who never evolved, the situations that don't suit you anymore, the habits that numb you, the conversations that drain you, the version of you that chose comfort over growth. Transition requires honesty, and honesty requires courage. Becoming new means grieving the old while building the new at the same time. That's why it feels heavy, in my opinion. Not because you're lost, but because you're releasing old identities and stepping into new ones. This week, I want you to choose one small upgrade, just one. Clean your space, maybe throw out something, drink more water. Buy one thing that feels aligned, not impulsive. Book an appointment you've been avoiding. Start a habit that takes 2 minutes a day. Set your timer on your phones. Take your own life seriously enough to improve one thing, because becoming new doesn't start with one big decision. It starts with a quiet one. One thing I saw this week was a dating show I finally started watching. This is my first season, and I tuned in on purpose just to see what everyone's been talking about. And within 15 minutes, I was invested. Popcorn in hand, talking at the TV like I personally knew these contestants. They got to the final two, big moment, and one of the women had that calm, grown look on her face. You could tell she knew exactly what she wanted. Meanwhile, the bachelor, he was giving that what I like to call confident but confused look, smiling, complimenting, deflecting, talking in circles. He says, "I really care about you. I just want to take my time and see where this goes." And she smiles softly, very mature, and she says, "Well, I want something serious, and you're not sure, so I'm going to head out." And she literally left. No drama, although there was. No emotional explosion, although there was. Just clarity and an exit. And I sat there like, okay, this is modern dating. People knowing what they want and not wasting time where confusion lives. In that moment, that calm, grown moment, is exactly what inspired today's episode. Today's episode is called Date the Right Way. This isn't about rules, and this isn't about perfection. This is about presence, intention, and not killing the vibe before the connection even begins. Dating is actually simple if we stop complicating it. Number one, stop starting the date with, "I'm tired." It shuts down the whole vibe. It gives, "I don't even want to be here." Save that honesty for date number 4. Number 2, no coffee shop first dates. Coffee creates escape routes, not chemistry. And I know you're thinking, well, that's my thing, coffee shops. Meet me at the Starbucks, meet me at this place, meet me at that place. But again, coffee creates escape routes, and it kind of starts to feel like a job interview when it really isn't. Number 3, do not take someone to a place where everybody knows your name. If the bartender daps you up, the hostess hugs you, and someone yells, "Yo, you want your usual?" You're not on a date. You're giving a neighborhood meet and greet vibe. Now, drinking. A drink is fine. A drink sets the mood. A drink relaxes you, but don't get sloppy. Don't start slurring, knocking things over, forgetting the conversation. People don't remember your cocktail. They remember your energy. Drink, don't drown. Another thing, don't make your date feel dumb. Share what you know, but don't lecture. Don't turn it into a TED talk. Connection lives in curiosity, not performance. Ask questions. Be present. Be human. Stop obsessing over your image during the date. Stop checking your reflection, fixing your hair every 2 minutes, or mentally posing while pretending you're listening. People don't fall for perfection, they fall for presence. So show up, be there, and let the moment breathe. And please, stop complaining on the first date. We don't want to hear my mom stresses me out. We don't want to hear my coworker hates me. We don't want to hear my ex was crazy. We also don't want to hear my roommate is annoying. You're not bonding. You're trauma dumping. The first date is for energy, not unloading your entire life story. Now picture this, 2 people who genuinely like each other. You take 2 cars, you meet up for dinner, you laugh, you flirt, you connect. Nothing's forced. The night ends, but the vibe doesn't. So maybe you hang out a little longer. Maybe you talk in the car. Maybe the night feels light and easy. He brings you back to your car. There's a good night moment, if you know what I'm talking about. So you get breakfast the next morning. No games, just chemistry. Just dating can be beautiful when we stop sabotaging the moment. And here's the truth. We are the new grown-ups. We're not dating like teenagers anymore. We want clarity. We want consistency. We want presence. We want peace. Dating in your grown era isn't about being perfect. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about showing up as someone who knows themselves and respects the person in front of them. We date differently. Welcome back to Kwani, the podcast. Welcome back to season 2. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. One thing I saw this week really touched me. I was in the grocery store, standing in line, and I noticed an older woman trying to grab something from the top shelf. She tried once, tried twice, and finally, she just looked like, all right, maybe this isn't my destiny today. Before I could help, this teenage boy, maybe 16, walked up quietly, grabbed the item, handed it to her with so much respect. She thanked him like he just saved her whole life. And the moment was simple, but also full. And here's what moved me. There were two completely different people, different ages, different backgrounds, different races, different worlds. But for those 30 seconds, none of that mattered. Just human to human, kindness to kindness, connection without commentary. Moments like that remind me that the world still has softness. The world still has humanity. And that leads right into today's conversation. Today's episode is called Race, Reality, Perception. And I want to be clear, this isn't an episode about outrage. This isn't a debate. This isn't a TED Talk. This is a human conversation about how we're seen, how we see others, and how humanity still shows up in the middle of everything. At some point in life, you realize people don't always see you through your own identity. They see through their conditioning. People meet you through their upbringing, their fears, their stereotypes, their assumptions, their experiences, or stories they've inherited but never really questioned. And most of the time, they don't even know they're doing it. That's the reality. But the deeper truth is, humanity still breaks through, like that moment in the grocery store. Some people see difference. Some people just see human to human. Some people just see a human who needs help. Both exist, but the second one, that's who we want to be. Everyone experiences race differently. Some people feel it every day. Some people feel it situationally. Some people don't think about it until the world forces them to. But across every identity, every background, every culture, we all want the same things: to be seen, to be respected, to feel safe, to belong. That's why I approach this conversation about race from a place of humanity, not heaviness. I don't avoid reality, but I also don't lead with fear. I lead with connection. Let me speak personally for a moment. I'm a Black man, fully, proudly, 100%, but I also navigate very comfortably in different spaces: white spaces, Asian spaces, Indian spaces. I genuinely enjoy connecting with different cultures. People have told me before, Kwani, you're naive. You're too comfortable. You don't even know the world like that. But here's the truth. It's not naivete. It's humanity. It's the way I show up. It's curiosity. It's openness. It's how I was raised. It's who I am. I don't shrink who I am to fit in, and I don't magnify who I am to prove a point. I just move through the world grounded in myself, aware of the realities, but not defined by them. Both things can exist at once. Now, I work in Hollywood. I'm actively submitting for auditions, etc. And let me say this, I don't personally feel like my race has stopped me from getting opportunities, but I'm not blind to the industry's history. Hollywood is changing, slowly, awkwardly, but changing. I've been welcomed, I've been embraced, I've gotten opportunities earlier than expected, but I never confuse my personal experience with the entire system. My journey has been good, but I'm aware that not everyone's journey looks like mine. That is clarity. That is balance. That is safe. And that is the truth. There's a quote by Victor Hugo that says, "All the forces in the world are not as powerful as an idea whose time has come." Dr. King built on that when he said, "Not even the marching of mighty armies can halt an idea whose time has come." And I believe the idea that's rising right now is this: seeing each other clearly, human to human, not stereotype to stereotype. That's the shift happening around us, quietly, slowly, but powerfully. And once humanity becomes the idea whose time has come, nothing can stop it. Not division, not fear, not politics, not the past, nothing. I feel very strongly about this episode, about this idea of race, reality, and perception. I do believe that how we see ourselves is how the world will see us. This week, I want you to notice just one thing: a moment where someone breaks the pattern, where someone shows up with kindness, not assumption, where someone sees you, not your label. Moments really do matter. They rewrite stories, they rewire how we see people. They remind us that beneath everything, we are still more connected than we think.